Hello everyone, welcome to We Bake Sometimes. My name is Jenna. In this kitchen, I typically have children with me, but I am childless this morning, which is very weird. I usually either have my 3-year-old Jack running around or I have a baby strapped to me, and it's very weird to have this freedom, this ability to do what I gotta do really quick. But typically in this kitchen, I will have my 3-year-old with me, and he is my tiny baker. You have seen him, if you're not new here, in the last videos. For 3 years now, he has been in the kitchen with me, and he has really inspired me in the kitchen and I've always had like a big passion of baking and cooking and things like that. I love, it's my favorite place to be. But he has rekindled that in a different way of finding the fun and the love and the experimentation of being in the kitchen. So he will be very much missed today, but he will be very happy with what I surprise him with later this afternoon. A few years ago, I'll do it's just a short story of this particular recipe. A few years ago, when my husband and I were dating, we lived in a different town that had just an amazing farmer's market. It's not that, it's like 45 minutes away from where we live now, so I can still go to that market. I will be going there this weekend, but they had an amazing market, and it was one street over from where we lived. And there was one booth that was selling jalapeno pickled rainbow carrots, and they were very dilly and garlicky and spicy and just so good. And I have been craving them pretty much since we moved 45 minutes away. The booth is no longer there, of course, so I don't know how to find these carrots. And so today I decided that that's what I'm going to be making. I will be making I don't have any jalapenos, but those will be in abundance in the garden in a few months, so I'm not too worried about it. But I was able to snag some rainbow carrots from the market in the town we currently live in, and I've got some dill, I've got some fresh garlic from the market as well. We are going to be making some pickled rainbow carrots today, and I am just very excited about it. We've really been playing with like fermentation and pickling lately in the kitchen. Like, we just made our giant thing of sauerkraut, and oh my gosh, I was actually shocked that it turned out good. Fermenting is kind of scary to me, and it turned out so good because sauerkraut is so expensive at the store, and the fact that you only need a head of cabbage and 1 tablespoon of salt is just insane to me. And then whatever like flavor you want in it, like I guess you could do that, but standard sauerkraut is literally just salt and cabbage. And Jack eats so much sauerkraut, and honestly so do I, but Jack, like, he'll sit and eat a whole bowl of sauerkraut. The kid's got a healthy gut, okay? But I really wanted to start playing with things like that are easy to make at home, that are really expensive at the store, and also have a lot of weird additives that just aren't necessary. One of those things being pickles. The amount of dyes and nonsense and just tons of sugar and all this kind of stuff that they put in pickles is just weird to me, because it really only needs to be a few ingredients. So we're gonna start our pickles. Of course, I have shared this cookbook so many times, but it has such a special place in my heart. I feel like I have it's an extension of me, even though it is so obviously an extension of the woman who made it. Sophie Hansen, who did A Basket by the Door. This cookbook is the perfect seasonal cookbook. Obviously, with the way that the world works, you can cook out of season. But this breaks it down literally by season. Perfect things for summer, perfect things for winter, perfect fall, spring. Like, it's just so wonderfully bound, and the pictures are gorgeous, and I have really taken advantage of this beautiful cookbook. It is my most favorite prized possession, and probably one of the best things advertised to me on the Pinterest. You know, sometimes those Pinterest snags are really good. But we will be doing Sophie Hansen's quick pickled bay vegetables. Now, I will be doing just rainbow carrots, and I am going to be switching up the ingredients a little bit, because I'm going to be doing just a simpler version without the peppercorns and all that stuff. I'm just going to be doing dill and garlic. And of course, I'll have the sugar and the vinegar and the water. So that's literally all I'm doing. I was just kind of needing this recipe for measurement reasons, not so much for flavor reasons. And if you've been in this channel for any extended period of time, I chronically don't follow recipes to a T, which is a good and bad thing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start chopping up some carrots. I'm gonna get my vinegar and my water boiling on the stove. And we do need to sanitize our jars. I bought jars today because it's canning season. Almost, it's pickle season. It's pickle season. So we're gonna start getting everything prepped and ready to go. Let's get pickling. Now all of these carrots have already been washed. I do wash and scrub them and then store them in water. As you can see, I have my big carrot jar. And that just keeps them harder and fresher longer. And I'm just gonna be cutting these into strips because almost like a matchstick. Just cutting them like that. Because that is how they had them at this farmer's market booth, and that is how I'm envisioning them now. I suppose you could do them as chips. You could probably do them as a whole, but I like the little matchstick. They're good if you're making sandwiches. If you're doing like a banh mi type sandwich, doing the little matchstick is perfectly, the perfect little size to put in a hoagie. Look how just perfect. The inside of a purple carrot is just like my most favorite thing. It just looks like a little sunset. I think they're so pretty. Okay, so we have sanitized our jars. I am switching it up this year. The Pur mason jars, I mean, they look the same as, you know, every other mason jar, but this is just a different brand than Ball. I'm just giving it a shot. They are a little bit cheaper, but I've heard good things. So what we'll be doing with our jars is we are just going to pack these carrots in. And if I need more carrots, I have more that I can chop, but this recipe does say it could fill 4 jars. We're just gonna see how many we can get in there. I think that's pretty tightly packed, so I'll just fill these other jars. I actually just decided to make an executive decision and not do all 4 jars because the amount of carrots that I just cut filled 2 jars perfectly. And so I think I have some beets in the fridge. I think I'm gonna pickle some beets too and just fill the other 2 jars with pickled beets. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do 2 roots today. We're gonna do pickled carrots and pickled beets. Why not? So we are just gonna peel this beet. You can wear gloves if you're worried about your hands being dyed. I'm not particularly worried about it. Looking like I've eaten beets isn't the worst thing in the world to me. There's this restaurant not too far from here that makes a pickled beet Reuben sandwich. It's a vegan joint and it is one of my favorite recipes, like one of my favorite sandwiches. And so I am actually really glad that I remembered I had these beets in there because this weekend that means that I get to have a homemade pickled beet Reuben for lunch. I am so excited right now. Okay, so we have our 2 jars fully packed with beets, our 2 jars fully packed with rainbow carrots. And now what I'm going to do is I will be putting some sprigs of just fresh dill into each one. Now I don't need the big stick, I just need just the goods. You know which part you need. And it's okay if it's just in one spot. Like I just have it kind of put over here in the corner. I'm gonna add some more into it as well, but it's okay that it's not spread throughout or wasn't the first thing put in there, because you're essentially gonna be marinating these pickles. You're gonna put boiling hot water and vinegar mixture, which we're gonna be making next. You're gonna be adding that into here, and it's essentially going to release the aroma and the flavors of the dill. And you're sort of just marinating it, really. Marinating it forever. But I like mine super dilly. I'm a big fan of just the herbal tastes. I have some family members that cannot stand the taste of herbs, and it just blows my mind because they pack such a punch and they're so good. It brings such a beautiful freshness to whatever you're making. And I cannot wait for my garden to start thriving in that environment again. But I've got our dill in each one, kind of packed in there. And now what we're going to do is we are going to bring 2 cups of white distilled vinegar and 1.5 cups of water to a boil. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this master measuring on my part. I have exactly 2 cups left. Woo. That was a close one. You're gonna do a 1/4 cup of sugar. And then 2 tablespoons of salt. This doesn't specify pickling salt, it does say sea salt. I will be using pink Himalayan salt because that is what I have. I'm just gonna whisk all of that together, and then we'll bring that to a boil. Okay. While that is boiling, I am going to put some garlic cloves in here. Again, I'm doing a very simple recipe with this. This is garlic that I got from the farmer's market, which I bought 2 of these bulbs so that I can snag the cloves out of the other one and plant those in the garden. So you can just put these in the dirt just like this, and in like 6 months, you will have a full bulb of garlic. If I can rip them apart. We're already almost boiling over there, so I'll do this really quick. I'm gonna do 2 cloves per jar. 2, 2, 2. Come on now, come apart. Okay. I'm just gonna peel these real quick and then just pop them in. There's one thing about homegrown garlic as opposed to store-bought, and it is so much more pungent. Homegrown garlic has so much more flavor. I don't know why, but I thought I was crazy when we grew all of the garlic last year, because I was hardly putting anything in our dishes and they were just booming with flavor. It was so cool, which is another reason why just growing your own stuff is so exciting, because the flavor profile versus like what you get at like a grocery store, it's so wildly different. Herbs taste different, vegetables taste different, garlic tastes different. And it's not just a pride thing either, it's just what it is. Less processed. you know, not as many hands touching it. I love this flat knife. This is my favorite vegetable knife. Cameron got me a gorgeous set of knives for Christmas 2 years ago. And this is that's my baby. Chop a lot of veggies in this house. Need a good knife for it. Now that our liquid is boiling, we are going to be pouring it into each jar. And you want to make sure that each jar is completely filled with liquid. 4 of our jars are completely filled. We will put the lids on them and let them sit out on this bench probably overnight. It says to just wait until they're cooled off before you start to snack on them, but I'm gonna let them sit out probably overnight, and then we'll snack on them tomorrow, and that will give them plenty of time to really absorb the flavors and get nice and tender, but stay crunchy and all that good stuff. So we're gonna let these just sit here, and I am super, super excited to give these a try tomorrow. I know Jack is gonna be absolutely thrilled. Give these a little shake. I don't know why, but you know, sometimes you just gotta. There we have it. There is our quick pickle recipe for rainbow carrots and a bonus of pickled beets. I will see you all tomorrow when we decide to give these a try. I'm really hoping Jack likes them because I did make a lot of pickles, so and they're gonna taste great. It was like the most basic pickle recipe, but you never know. With toddlers, you never know. One day they really like something, and the next day it's like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. So hopefully it's good. See you all tomorrow when we try our pickles. Okay, so it has now been 2 days since we made that recipe, and Jack just doesn't want to be filmed right now, which is totally fine. Whenever any of my kids say they don't want to be on camera, I'm obviously not going to force them to give me a food reaction. I only do it when they want to. But I will say that one of those carrot jars is almost completely gone, so I think it's safe to say that he did really enjoy this recipe. I have put them on burgers so far and sandwiches and just done them as snacks, and they have been absolutely delicious. So very simple recipe, really, really yummy, and very good for littles too. Jack's been really, he's been funny with his vegetables because he will not eat a cooked vegetable. Something about a cooked vegetable just gives him the ick, okay? And so I have been trying to find creative ways for him to, like, he will always just eat raw vegetables. He'll eat a whole head of broccoli if I let him. But try to give him some extra flavors, and pickles are one way to do that. So if you do have a kid that really enjoys a cucumber pickle, try pickling other veggies, and maybe they might want to experiment with those vegetables. Jack really appreciates the fresh crunch of a veggie, and so something about a soft veggie just makes him gross out, and I think that is just forever funny to me. But he's been 3 years like that. Well, I'll say 2.5 years like this, considering he didn't eat in the beginning, but you know, he's been like this for 2.5 years. The kid will only eat a raw vegetable. So if you're trying to get more veggies into your kid's life, there are so many vegetables that you can pickle. Like I did beets. You can pickle broccoli stems. You can pickle Brussels sprouts. You can pickle cauliflower. You can do so many different things. Pickled radishes are really, really good. It kind of gives them, if you do like more like an Asian styled pickle with it, they come out so nice and sweet. And so you don't have to be forcing your kid to eat these cooked veggies or these raw veggies. You know, if they're refusing to eat one, try it in a different way. I'm very lucky that Jack will eat any vegetable. We walked around the farmer's market last week and he was just eating a head of cauliflower. You know, it's just, I'm very, very, very lucky that I have a kid that loves vegetables, but I have had him in the dirt since he could walk. So he knows that where the veggies come from, and he appreciates just the freshness of a crunchy vegetable. But I would just extend that to you if you're having a hard time getting your kids to eat their veggies. Pickles and the vinegars and everything like that, the whole process of a pickled or fermented vegetable is really, really good for your gut health, which is why I do now make sauerkraut, but I've always bought sauerkraut for Jack. If he was having a particularly picky evening, I could give him some sauerkraut and know that he had a vegetable and a little bit of a probiotic bonus. So that's my little tidbit. I'm gonna sign off in this kind of atmosphere today because I will show you an amazing video of Jack in a second, but I'm gonna sign off in this space right now because I am about to get ready to go live on my other channel. So if I have any crafty folks here, every Sunday I go live on my knitting channel for a live craft and chat. I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern for 1 hour, and we just craft together, and it's been really, really fun. It's been a nice little community growing. It's been a little bit slow. It is a new channel, so it's been a little bit of a slow growth, but it still has been really fun. Just to not be like I am a knitter. I am currently knitting this 2x2 scarf, and it's nice to just have some company. Sometimes the chats are the lives are very chatty, and sometimes they're just us keeping each other company. And either way, it's really nice to just give yourself that space. So if you are a crafty person, that is something I will offer to you, to come on over there. I'll link it somewhere up here so you can find the channel. But that is it for today. If you liked this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Share it with your friends if they're wanting to learn how to pickle. And I will leave an amazing video of Jack yesterday at my niece's lacrosse game. Have a great day, guys. Bye. I need water.